Glock 17 Generation 1. Hello YouTube, 11 Bravo NFA here. I got my my collection of my first generation Glock 17s. I got 3 in my collection. These 2 right here. I know this one with the serial number DC, the early model. This one was imported December 1987. This one has a serial number of FG, so I'm assuming probably sometime in 1988. These 2 particular ones are brand new, unfired. They still have the original copper grease. I haven't shot them myself. These are the original Tupperware containers, the boxes that it came in. As you can see, this is the earlier, really early, like when Glock first started importing these. Yeah, again, this one's unfired. It's never been fired before. You could see the original U-shaped magazines. You can tell the difference between the 2 magazines. These ones are the original design. Glock had a lot of issues with these coming apart, so they ended up doing away with these. As you can see, it's never been, these are all brand new. So I have 2 of them in my collection that are currently, they have not been fired. And they all got the original early U-shaped magazines. You could see the earlier sights, the Glock sights that came on the early model Glocks. Real cool piece of history. If you could see here, you could see the original Austrian proof marks. On the lower and the barrel and on the slide. They did those all the way up until the early 90s. I think they had quit adding those proof marks. So this is the 3rd model that I have. This one's a DC, FG, and EA. I got these 2 together from the same guy. The story behind these 2, he bought this one originally. He bought these both, and he said 1987 or 88 out of Boise, Idaho. He bought this one, never fired it. So this one's brand new, unfired. He put a couple thousand rounds through this one. You can see the early generation 2, kind of similar to the generation 1. But the generation 2, they have the stippling in the front, on the front and the back straps. The generation 1, this one's also an early model, generation 2. This one does not have the Austrian proof marks like on the generation 1, but on this one I have this model right here. This one's a generation 2 model, another early model with the serial number FP. This one does have the Austrian proof marks on it. All right. So I got, these are the 2 generation 2s, and then these are the generation 1s. Real cool piece of history. You know, I collect these. I didn't intend on shooting these at all. I'm not going to shoot these because he's never been fired. But the guy who originally owned this one, he said he ran a couple thousand rounds through it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get video of Larry running it. It's probably the only time that you're gonna see this thing get fired. Other than that, it's gonna get put up and it's gonna get put away. You can see the Austrian proof marks. They're kind of they're a little bit different from on these two models. Well, the Austrian proof marks are up here, and then on this one the Austrian proof marks are here, and on this generation 2 the Austrian proof marks are up here on this side. These two have the Austrian proof marks in the front, and these two in the rear. All right, so we'll go ahead and get a video of Larry running this generation 1 Glock 17. All right, again, this is probably the only time you're going to see me shooting this. To find these in these condition, you know, for a 30-something-year-old pistol, it's unheard of. And for me to own 3 of them, so yeah, it's probably like the only time you're going to see me shooting these early generation, first generation Glock 17.